May 9, 1941. North Atlantic, 500 miles south of Iceland. The German submarine U-110 surfaces after being damaged by British depth charges. The crew abandons ship. They think it's sinking, but it doesn't sink. A British boarding party from HMS Bulldog rushes aboard the damaged U-boat. They have minutes before it goes down. Inside, they find something extraordinary. An Enigma machine, Germany's most secret cipher device. The machine that encrypts every German military communication and code books, settings, instructions. The British seize everything, rush it back to England. This single capture will help change the course of the war. But the real story isn't just about one captured machine. It's about the thousands of brilliant minds who learned to break Enigma. British, Polish, and American. This is the story of the greatest code-breaking operation in history and how America's codebreakers helped win World War II. To understand Enigma, you need to understand the problem it solved. World War I. Every army uses codes and ciphers to protect communications, orders, troop movements, battle plans. But World War I codes are broken. Repeatedly, the Germans break French codes. The British break German codes. Everyone is reading everyone else's messages. Room 40. The British Naval Intelligence Code-Breaking Unit. They intercept and decode the Zimmermann telegram in 1917. Germany's secret proposal to Mexico to attack the United States. The revelation helps bring America into the war. Code-breaking matters. It wins battles. Maybe wins wars. After World War I, Germany understands. We need unbreakable codes. 1918. A German engineer named Arthur Scherbius invents a machine, the Enigma machine. It looks like a typewriter, but it's much more. Inside, 3 rotors. Each rotor has 26 electrical contacts, one for each letter of the alphabet. When you press a key, electricity flows through the rotors. Each rotor scrambles the letter, then a reflector sends the electricity back through the rotors. Different path, more scrambling. A light bulb illuminates, showing the encrypted letter. The operator writes down the encrypted letter, repeats for each letter of the message. The encrypted message is sent by radio. To decrypt, the receiving operator sets his Enigma machine to the same rotor positions, types in the encrypted message. The machine outputs the original message. Simple, elegant, and apparently unbreakable. Here's why. The rotors rotate after each letter, so the encryption changes constantly. The first A might encrypt as F. The second A might encrypt as Q. No pattern. With 3 rotors and a plug board that further scrambles letters, the number of possible settings is astronomical. 158 quintillion, 962 quadrillion, 555 trillion, 217 billion, 826,360,000 possible configurations. 158 quintillion. To test every possible setting would take longer than the age of the universe. Germany adopts Enigma for all military communications. Navy, Army, Air Force. By 1939, thousands of Enigma machines are in use, encrypting millions of messages. The Germans believe Enigma is unbreakable. They're wrong. Poland, 1932. The Polish Cipher Bureau recruits mathematicians, brilliant young men, Marian Rejewski, Jerzy Różycki, Henryk Zygalski. They're given a challenge: break Enigma. The Poles have obtained an Enigma machine through espionage. They know how it works mechanically, but they don't know the daily settings. Which rotors, what positions, plug board connections. Różycki approaches it mathematically. He realizes that the rotor wiring creates permutations, mathematical cycles. If you know the structure of the cycles, you can deduce the rotor positions. It's abstract, complex, pure mathematics, but it works. By 1933, Różycki is reading German Enigma messages regularly. The Poles build a machine to help, the Bombe, an electromechanical device that tests rotor positions. For 6 years, the Poles read German military communications, in secret, but in 1938, the Germans make changes. Add more rotors, 5 rotors instead of 3. More possible combinations. The Polish methods still work, but they need more resources, more machines, more people. Poland can't do it alone. July 1939, Warsaw. 2 months before Germany invades Poland, the Polish Cipher Bureau invites British and French intelligence. A secret meeting. The Poles reveal everything. How they broke Enigma, the mathematical methods, the Bombe Machines. They give the British and French replica Enigma machines. Complete documentation. The British are stunned. They've been trying to break Enigma for years. Failed. The Poles hand them the solution. August 1939. The British rush the Polish materials to Bletchley Park, a Victorian mansion 50 miles north of London, the new home of the government code and cipher school. September 1st, 1939. Germany invades Poland. World War II begins. The Polish codebreakers flee. Some reach France. Some reach Britain. They continue working on Enigma throughout the war. Their contribution, invaluable. Without the Poles, the British might never have broken Enigma. Bletchley Park, 1939 to 1945. The British expand on the Polish work. They recruit mathematicians, linguists, chess champions, crossword experts. Anyone who can think analytically. 10,000 people eventually work at Bletchley Park. The most famous, Alan Turing. Turing is 27 years old in 1939, a mathematician from Cambridge. Brilliant, eccentric. He arrives at Bletchley Park in September 1939. Turing's task, improve the Polish bombe. He designs a new machine, the bombe. British spelling, larger, faster, more sophisticated. The bombe tests possible rotor settings at high speed. Exploiting weaknesses in German operating procedures. The Germans make mistakes. Lazy operators, predictable message formats, weather reports with standard phrasing. The codebreakers exploit every mistake. Every day the Germans change Enigma settings, new rotor positions, new plugboard connections. Every day Bletchley Park breaks the new settings, usually within hours. By 1941, the British are reading thousands of German messages daily. They call the intelligence ultra, top secret, ultra-restricted distribution. Ultra-intelligence changes the war. The Battle of the Atlantic. British codebreakers read German U-boat positions. Convoys are rerouted, avoiding wolf packs. The North Africa campaign. British commanders know German plans. Rommel's supply convoys are intercepted. D-Day. The Germans are convinced the invasion will be at Calais because their Enigma traffic isn't being broken, or so they think. Ultra-intelligence saves countless lives, shortens the war. Churchill later says, "It was thanks to Ultra that we won the war." But this story isn't just British. December 1941, Pearl Harbor. America enters the war. The U.S. Navy has its own code-breaking operation, OP-20G, based in Washington, D.C. The Army has the Signal Intelligence Service. Both have been working on breaking codes, Japanese codes primarily, but now America needs to break German codes too. The British share some ultra-intelligence with America, but not everything. Not the methods, not full access. The Americans want their own Enigma-breaking capability. The challenge? Germany uses different Enigma variants. The German Navy uses a 4-rotor Enigma, more complex than the 3-rotor version. The naval Enigma is harder to break. 1942. The Battle of the Atlantic is raging. German U-boats are sinking Allied shipping faster than it can be replaced. In February 1942, the Germans introduce a new naval Enigma variant, codenamed Shark. 4 rotors, new procedures. Bletchley Park goes dark. For 10 months, they can't read naval Enigma. U-boat sinkings surge. Hundreds of thousands of tons of shipping lost. The codebreakers work desperately. Alan Turing and his team redesign the bombs. Build 4 rotor bombs. December 1942. They break Shark. Naval Enigma intelligence resumes. U-boat sinkings drop. The tide of the Battle of the Atlantic turns. Meanwhile, American codebreakers are making their own contributions. The U.S. Navy's OP-20G focuses on Japanese codes. They break JN-25, the main Japanese naval code. This intelligence leads to American victory at Midway in June 1942, the turning point of the Pacific War. But the Americans also work on German codes. They build their own bombs, based on British designs, but improved. By 1943, the U.S. Navy is producing bombs at the National Cash Register Company in Dayton, Ohio. Over 100 American bombs are built, faster than the British versions, more efficient. American bombs are shipped to Bletchley Park and to U.S. Navy facilities in Washington. The Anglo-American code-breaking partnership becomes the most successful intelligence collaboration in history. They share intelligence, share techniques, work together. But breaking Enigma isn't just about machines. It's about people. Most of the codebreakers are women. At Bletchley Park, 75% of the workforce is female. Young women recruited from universities, secretaries, debutantes. They operate the bombs, transcribe messages, analyze patterns. In America, WWIIs, women accepted for volunteer emergency service, operate the bombs. Thousands of women, working in shifts, around the clock. They're sworn to secrecy. Can't tell anyone what they do. Not family, not friends. The work is tedious, repetitive, mentally exhausting, but critical. These women are saving lives, winning battles, ending the war faster, and they can't tell anyone. The intelligence from broken Enigma messages is priceless, but it creates a dilemma. If you act on the intelligence too obviously, the Germans will realize their codes are broken. They'll change systems. All the work will be wasted. So the Allies are careful. When Ultra reveals a German convoy route, they send a reconnaissance plane first. So the Germans think they were spotted by the plane, not by code breaking. When Ultra reveals U-boat positions, submarines are sent to search the area. So the Germans think it's luck, not intelligence. Sometimes the Allies can't act on intelligence because it would reveal they have it. Coventry, November 14, 1940. Ultra intelligence reveals that the Luftwaffe will bomb Coventry. Churchill knows, but if he evacuates the city, the Germans will know Enigma is broken. The decision is made. Don't warn Coventry. Don't reveal Ultra. The bombing proceeds. 568 people die. It's a terrible choice. But the intelligence must be protected for the greater war effort. This is the burden of Ultra, knowing what's coming, but being unable to act sometimes. By 1944, the Allies are reading German Enigma traffic almost in real time. The D-Day deception, Operation Fortitude. The Allies feed false information to the Germans through double agents, fake radio traffic. The Germans believe the invasion will be at Calais, not Normandy. How do the Allies know the deception is working? Because they read the German Enigma messages. German commanders report to Berlin, the invasion will be at Calais. The Allies know their deception succeeded. On June 6, 1944, the landings at Normandy face lighter opposition than expected. German reinforcements are held at Calais, waiting for an invasion that never comes. Ultra intelligence helps make D-Day successful. The Germans never realize Enigma is broken. Throughout the entire war, they believe it's mathematically impossible. 158 quintillion possible settings, unbreakable. Even after the war, captured German officers refuse to believe it. Impossible. Enigma cannot be broken. They're shown the evidence. The bombs, the decrypted messages, they still can't accept it. Their unbreakable cipher was broken, for years by mathematicians and machines, the legacy of Enigma code breaking. First, it shortened the war. Estimates vary. Some historians say 2 years, others say more. Churchill's assessment, Ultra won the war. Eisenhower, Ultra intelligence was decisive. The codebreakers saved millions of lives, Allied and Axis, by ending the war faster. Second, it advanced computing. The bombs were early computers, electromechanical, programmable, purpose-built for complex calculations. After the war, the British built Colossus. To break another German cipher, Lorenz. Colossus is the world's first programmable electronic digital computer. Alan Turing's work on the bomb leads directly to his theoretical work on computing, the Turing machine, the foundation of modern computer science. Without Enigma, the computer revolution might have taken decades longer. Third, it established signals intelligence as a critical military capability. After the war, both Britain and America maintained large code-breaking organizations, GCHQ in Britain, NSA in America. The methods developed at Bletchley Park, the collaboration between allies, the integration of mathematics, linguistics, and technology. This becomes the model for modern intelligence. But for 50 years, the story remains secret. After the war, the Enigma machines are given to Britain's former colonies. Told they're secure, the British and Americans continue reading traffic. For decades, the codebreakers are sworn to lifelong secrecy. Alan Turing dies in 1954, age 41, convicted of homosexuality, chemically castrated, commits suicide. The world doesn't know his contribution to winning the war. 1974, the British government begins declassifying Enigma materials. Slowly, the story emerges. The codebreakers can finally talk. After 30 years of silence, books are written, documentaries made. The world learns what happened at Bletchley Park. 2013, Alan Turing receives a posthumous royal pardon. 2019, the British government pardons all men convicted under historical anti-homosexuality laws. Turing's Law. Too late for Turing, but his legacy is finally recognized. What made the Enigma code-breaking successful? Not just one thing. It was the Polish mathematicians who figured out the initial methods, the British who scaled it up, the Americans who industrialized it. It was mathematicians and linguists and engineers. It was women operating bombs in shifts. It was captured materials from U-boats and weather ships. It was people making mistakes, German operators being lazy, using predictable phrases. It was never giving up. When the Germans added rotors, the codebreakers built bigger bombs. When the settings changed daily, they broke them daily. It was international collaboration. Poles, British, Americans working together, sharing intelligence, trusting each other. And it was keeping the secret for 50 years. Thousands of people who knew and never told. Today you can visit Bletchley Park. It's a museum now, the mansion where Churchill walked, the huts where codebreakers worked, the bombs that broke Enigma, reconstructed, working replicas. Visitors can see how it all worked. And think about the people who worked there. Young men and women, mathematicians and debutantes, doing tedious, exhausting work, in secrecy, for years, never knowing if it mattered, never being thanked, never being recognized, until decades later. They helped win the war, changed the course of history, and couldn't tell anyone. That's the real story of Enigma. Not just the machine, not just the mathematics, the people who refused to give up, who broke the unbreakable and kept the secret. Thank you for watching.